Good morning, everyone. It is, I don't have my phone because I'm recording on my phone, but it is currently 6 a.m. I'm getting ready for work, but today I'm going to be doing a first impression and demo on the MAC Next to Nothing face color. So I got the color medium. I've never actually used a MAC foundation before, so I'm really hoping this is like a close shade match. We'll see. So I'm gonna do half of my face with a Real Technique sponge, which I actually like better than the beauty blender that I had. And then I'm gonna do the other half with a brush. I don't know if I'm gonna use this e.l.f. brush or the Sigma F80. I'll probably just stick with the F80. Yeah. So to prime, I'm gonna use the Smashbox Photo Focus Primer Water. Just get that. Make sure I'm spraying it the right way. I did spray it the wrong way before. Alright, this is what the bottle looks like. I'm sure you guys saw it in the intro. You know, standard MAC, from what I've seen, anyway. So let's... Ooh, that looks dark. That looks a little dark. Okay, so I'm just gonna squeeze like a nickel. Well, it became a nickel. So that's what it looks like. It's pretty runny. So let's see. Let's do this side with the sponge. It would help if I had a mirror, huh? It's a strange smell, not a bad smell, but different. Okay, so it is super thin. Of course, with the name, next to nothing. No coverage at all, basically. Basically feels like a tinted moisturizer. It does give like a nice glow. So basically with the sponge, there's just like a hint of color and barely any coverage. So, but it does look nice and luminous. Alright, so I'm gonna just I had to use like a pump and a half just on that side of the face of the sponge. So I'm gonna use just a little bit and go in on the other side with a F80. Okay, so that's what it looks like with the brush. You can't even really tell I'm wearing anything. Like I have a breakout right there, I got a breakout there. Basically, it just makes you look dewy. I do look very glowy. So I think since I did like an extra, technically another layer on this side, I'm gonna go in on this side with an extra layer. So I'm gonna do just another little swoop. Okay. Overall, I'm not really sure what it did. Didn't even really even out my skin tone. Like I still have redness down here, redness right there. So basically if you have like really good skin, it just makes it look like glowy. Okay. But I am liking it better with the sponge. So maybe this would be something nice like in the summer when you don't want to wear a full foundation and you just want to put on a moisturizer. I guess shake well. I didn't shake. Is it any different? We're looking very dewy. Very dewy. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay guys, so I'm back. I finished the rest of my makeup. So I didn't powder it. All I did was do concealer, and I set the under eye with some little words, Monica, with the Laura Mercier powder. Overall, it just makes me look like I'm sweating. Like, maybe it'll look a little bit nicer in like natural lighting. Hopefully it looks better throughout the day, but I didn't set anything else. It did kind of set. I mean, it does come off a little bit, but overall, like, I don't know if you guys can just see really how just like dewy it is. And I mean, it does market itself as a like a next to nothing dewy kind of foundation, but I mean, it's not like a great kind of dew. Okay, so I think I'm gonna set it. I didn't want to set it with a powder, but I don't want to, you know what, I'm not gonna set it. I'm not gonna set it. So I'm gonna go about my day. I didn't put bronzer, contour, or anything on top of it. I just have the foundation, and I have some concealer, and then I just set down here. So nothing else on the rest of the face. So I'm gonna go to work, and I'm gonna do a check-in in natural lighting just to see how it's all holding up. I do walk to work, so when I try foundations like this, where it's more like a tinted moisturizer, I use those for days where I know it's going to be hot and I'm not going to be able to keep like a full coverage thick foundation on like all the way to work. So I'm going to see how this one holds up. It's supposed to be pretty hot today, so the next time I check in, it'll be either in natural lighting or right after my walk to work. We'll see how it holds up. So see you guys in a minute. How it held up right after I got to work. So I'm in natural lighting, and as you can see, I'm really sweaty on the upper lip. You really don't see any coverage. It just looks very sweaty on my forehead, and you can see redness over here is already peeking through. Overall, it just doesn't do a whole lot of good, and basically I got to work looking like a hot mess. I'm not liking this. This is right before I was about to leave at the end of the day. As you can see, it only got worse. I look really sweaty. You can see all of my breakouts. You can see all of my texture. It doesn't look glowy. It doesn't look dewy. It just looks bad. Alright guys, it is currently 3:59. Can you see that on my... Well, let's... Okay, so it's just now around 4 o'clock. Please ignore my nails. It's 4 o'clock. The foundation's been on for just about 10 hours, and I have to say I'm not impressed. Let's get out of the sun there. But it basically doesn't... Looks like it's all worn off. The only parts that really look good are the parts that I powdered. Let me just zoom you in here. So yeah, these parts, like, I just see my skin here, and this is just really oily, and I don't tend to get that oily. It's just completely rubbed off of my nose. So overall, I'm not really impressed. There's still product on my under eye because I wore the concealer, but basically there's nothing left on my face. So I'm not sure what I was expecting. So generally I was expecting it to be like a better version of, let me grab it, the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. This is one of my favorite like tinted moisturizers. It's thin, but it still has a decent amount of coverage, and it stays on all day. So in general, I thought the MAC one would be similar to this, with at least a little bit of coverage. There was nothing. Overall, not really impressed. I might try it 1 or 2 more times, but overall I think I'm gonna return it. I don't think it's worth $32 for something that I can buy at CVS for less than half the price that works better. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you had fun and I hope you learned some things. And I hope if you enjoy it, you'll stop by and see me in my next video. Bye.